Hey guys, Helen Hartsmith here again from the Heart of the Witch's Path YouTube channel. Hope you're having a good day. I totally am, because I am spending some time with y'all, and this necklace does not want to lay right, so pardon me while I futz. Sorry. And my chair just dropped. We're having all kinds of technical issues here on the channel filming in this one dog, one pony show. Hope you're having a good day. Anyhow, I wanted to share with you the books that I'm reading right now and just kind of give you some impressions on where I'm at with the book and what I think about it so far. These books I log on my currently reading tab on Goodreads, and you'll find a link to my Goodreads in the description box. So feel free to go check that out. I like to read, so here we go. Lots of books. So first on my list is actually the most recent book that I started, and it's called When, Why, If. Let's see if, can I make myself and the book? Oh, look, it's that holding thing. I haven't been here in a bit, so, and look, if I bring it back, you can see me and the book cover. So this is When, Why, If, an ethics workbook by Robin Wood. This book is one that was recommended to me by Kathy. If you watched my What Happened to My Summer Vacation, I didn't mean to take a summer hiatus, whatever. If you watched that video, you'll know that Kathy and I have been looking at overhauling our three-year degree system for our coven. And so this is a book on ethics that she highly recommended, and it's one that we're considering making required reading for our students. And so I'm not super far into it. I'm in chapter 3. I like the book so far. I mean, I got through the introduction and already had like some really cool things that were kind of playing in my mind based on what Robin Wood said. And I like this book because there's questions at the end of each chapter. And I believe that Robin Wood is a female. So yeah, I think it's a female, so I'm going to refer to her as a she. Hopefully I'm correct. But she encourages you to read the book, read the questions, but don't think about answering the questions until you've finished reading the book, and then go back and do things. So the chapters are broken down into talking about the self, talking about honesty, talking about, so there's kind of a theme for each chapter. So love is a theme, help is a theme, harm, and things like that, and how they apply to ethics. I'm enjoying this book thus far, and when I finish it, know that I will do a review sharing my thoughts on this book. I fear that this book may be out of print. But I haven't done any research into that because I'm not preparing to do the review video. I did find mine at a local store. I think you can purchase them on purchase it on Amazon. We'll see what happens with that. Okay, sorry. The next book on my list is this one. There. Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy. So this is a fiction book, and this is from the world of Cassandra Clare. So this is the Mortal Instruments, the Dark Artifices, the Clarion Jace books. I don't know. I'm not sure what's a universal way to, Shadowhunter, I think, is probably like a good universal word for the world. This is a grouping of short stories that based on characters in that world. The Shadowhunter Academy is a school where Shadowhunters go to learn. And she has at least there's 3 books out now that are little anthologies, groupings of short stories, and in each book, each of the 3 books, there is a central character that will be in each of the stories. So the first one that she did was the Bane Chronicles, and Magnus Bane is in every story. This book is Simon, who is Clary's best friend. He's in, supposedly will be in every story. And then there was recently a book called Tales from the Shadow Market. That one I think was a new release for this year, either this year or last year. And in that book, the character Brother Zachariah, or Jem Carstairs, is in every short story. So I love this world. I know that it's a young adult. It's technically a young adult series, but it just appealed to me from the very first book. So I'm a big fan of hers, and I like her world. I like what she's done with it. And so I will continue to keep reading books that she keeps putting out. There you have it. The next book on my reading list that I'm reading, I'm actually reading digitally. So the book is called A Practical Heathen's Guide to Asatru, and that's by Patricia M. Lafaylive. And that it's an interesting book. There's a lot of, it's a basic book. It's an intro to what Asatru is. And I'm interested in Asatru. I'm interested in the Norse gods and things like that. I don't think that I would identify as an Asatru, but it's definitely subject matter that I am interested in. And so far, it's a really good book. She's touching on the gods. She's touching on the worlds. There are rituals throughout, and it's a very interesting book, and so I'm enjoying that one so far. And that's the one that I'm kind of reading the most active. That one and the When, Why, If. That's what I'm reading most actively. I'm also reading, the next book is also something that I'm reading the digital form of, and that is Witchcraft for Tomorrow by Doreen Valiente. Doreen Valiente is, of course, an elder of the craft. She worked with Gerald Gardner. She was a wonderful practitioner in her own right. I think that it's important for myself as a pagan to expose myself to as much information as I possibly can about this spiritual path that I'm on. And I think that our elders are the ones that, of course, paved the way for us. And I think that it's important, and I make sure to talk to my students about the elders and make them research the elders and know who they are. And so part of that is also me knowing who they are. And so it's an interesting read thus far. There's definitely a style difference from someone who was writing like in the 60s, the 50s or 60s, to what's being produced today. So sometimes that is a little odd, but like if you can read The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, then it's the same kind of societal things that come through in the writing, if that makes sense. So I'm enjoying it thus far, and I'll do, like I said, all these books, I'll do a review when I have completed them. The next book on my list, I actually didn't pull it out. It's on the bookshelf here next to me, and I'm not seeing it like right away, and so it is a delicate beast over here, these stacks of books on the bookshelf, and I didn't want to topple it. I didn't want to mess with it too much. So anyhow, the next book on the list is The Witch School's Second Degree, Lessons for the Corellian Tradition. And that is a book that goes along with the Witch School Second Degree classes that I am in the middle of. I left that book on this list. I'm not actively working on my second degree with the Corellians at this point. It's just feeling like it's not the right time for me to go back to that. I originally started my lessons with the Corellians. They were the first entity that I studied under, the first tradition that I studied under. And like it's on my to-do list of things that I want to finish that second degree, but it's just not speaking to me right now. And it's not that it's not good. I mean, it's fine. It's just not speaking to me right now. So I'm hoping that at some point I will go back to it and I leave it on my currently reading list as a reminder that I need to finish. So there's that. The next book that I'm reading is Do It Yourself Akashic Wisdom by Jackie Smith. And Patty Shaw. This is Jackie Smith and her sister Patty Shaw. So this is actually the book that my coven is reading together. So this is a great introduction to the Akashic Records. We are enjoying it thus far. There are meditations in there. There's life lessons and things like that. Jackie and Patty work with the Akashic Records a great deal in their healing practice. They have clients that they work with and they take them into the Akashic Records. I'm liking this book so far, and I'm recommending it already. Jackie's a great writer. She's fun. She keeps things fresh, and she's got a great perspective. And so yeah, liking this book thus far. We're not quite halfway through the book, but it's going very nicely. I'm enjoying it a great deal so far. The next book on my list, I've only got 2 more, so hang in there with me. The next book is actually one that I've been reading for a while. This is, oh my god, okay, this is Taking Up the Runes. A Complete Guide to Using Runes in Spells, Rituals, Divination, and Music by Diana L. Paxson. I like this book a great deal. This is a book that's kind of been put on the reserve list. I started reading this book a while ago. I haven't finished it because it's not good. There's a lot of information in it. This is, if you watch... I did a video where I talked about the different rune books that I had, and this is the one that I recommend because she, Edred Thorson is, kind of like a go-to person when it comes to runes, and I'm completely blanking on some of the other big names that have studied runes. But what I like about this book, those people all have their own separate books, but Diana brings it all together and puts it in one. Brings their findings, her experiences all into one. I really enjoy this book. You've got it's broken down so that there's 2. She's covering the Elder Futhark, which is a 24 set of runes, and each chapter covers 2 runes. Each chapter also has a companion chapter in the back of the book that's known as Part 2, the Rituals. So there's rituals in here to help you connect more with the runes. I'm enjoying this book. I'm not really sure exactly why I haven't finished it yet. Maybe it's kind of heavy and I had other things that I needed to read, but this is definitely something that I want to finish, and so it's one that's staying on the current list until I do finish it. And then the final book that I'm reading is this one, Norse Myths. This is by Kevin Crossley-Holland. And this one, it is a really good version. They're very good versions of the Norse myths. I like these the best. I also like Neil Gaiman's Norse mythology book as well. But this is one that, if you've got a couple of minutes, you can pick it up and you can finish a myth in a few minutes. It's one that I haven't been reaching for, mostly because I actually listened to the audiobook of Neil Gaiman's Norse mythology, and so it's just one that I haven't picked up. But it's definitely, I've recommended this book to a couple of friends, and it's definitely something that it's one of the 2 that I would recommend. So there you have it. So that is what I'm reading right now. Again, some are more active than others, but this is my current reading list as appears on my Goodreads. So feel free to go check that out. And I think you can friend or follow or something on Goodreads. I'm not sure. There's a link to in the description box to my account. I don't even know like what the page, I don't know. Feel free to check it out. I've got a lot of books that I've read. There's a lot more that I want to read and things like that. So feel free to check those out. If you liked this video, it was an idea that I had to film that I said, let's do it. Let's see if the peeps like it. If you like this, and you want me to do more, then maybe I could do something like once a month, or, you know, once every so often when I finish a few, something along those lines. Let me know. You know what? One thing that I forgot, because it's not on the book. Oh my gosh. I'm listening to the Dune audiobook right now. So that's like my fiction that I'm getting in there, that's on my audio section. So there's that. So if you like me doing these, let me know, and I will continue to do them, and I'll continue to do book reviews for Wicca books, because I think that's what would most be liked on this channel. Yeah, there we go. Stop talking, Helen, and wrap it up. So if you liked it, thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. There's a button, red, somewhere. Hit that. What are you reading right now? I'd love to know what you're reading right now. So let me know in the comments section as well. I think that's going to be it for this video. Check out the description box for links. And I will talk to you next time. Thanks for walking the path for a little while with me. And blessed be.